What's on the menu tonight?
Good evening. Tonight at the Parker Bistro, we're making Crunch Wrap Supremes from you know where. So the first thing we got to do is like the mundane task of browning the ground beef. A little bit of oil, spread it around. This is a medium-high heat. Everybody knows how to brown ground beef. If you don't, let me know. I'll show you. And then throw it on there. Start breaking it up. I've got some onion here to put in as well, just to give the beef a little more flavor. Let me get this going. Okay, let this brown about halfway, and then add this chopped onion. That's about a quarter of an onion for just the two of us. That'll be okay. So we'll be back. Okay, so you see our ground beef is browning nicely. I've added the onions just a moment before the camera turned on. We want this to be almost completely brown before we start adding our seasonings. Otherwise, you see how all the grease from the hamburger is drizzling away. It will drizzle our flavor away with it. So we'll be back in a minute and we'll season it up. All right, so we've got our ground beef. It's ready to season in yet another one of my obsessively perfect rectangles. Seasoning is kind of a personal thing. You can buy Taco Bell seasoning and use that, and that'll be fine. I don't have any, so I'm using some New Orleans Cajun. I'm just gonna shake a little bit of that on there. You know, kind of cover the top. Now, if you don't have, can't get, don't want Taco Bell actual seasoning, but you want that flavor, here's the secret. Here, cumin. That makes Taco Bell flavor. Cumin, you can get it anywhere. Any spice rack, and you just shake over. You know, don't be too generous because you don't want it to overpower every single thing that you put in your crunch wrap, but a good amount of cumin. You smell that? That's Taco Bell right there. Okay, you just kind of stir that in. Let that, give it another minute to get all blended in there with everything. And you see, all the fat has drained away from this beef. It's nice. If you don't want to use beef, you don't have to use beef. You can use shredded chicken. You could use steak. You could use ground pork. You could use ground turkey. It doesn't matter. Whatever meat you like to use it. Okay, so we're going to take this inside and assemble our crunch wraps. Okay, so let's go through our ingredients that are going to go into our crunch wrap supreme. Now, supreme means a lot of stuff in there. If you don't want this much stuff in there, don't put it in there. It's your crunch wrap. Do it your way. Add in, take out, it doesn't matter. This is like a Mexican style crunch wrap. You can also make this with other ingredients. I've even seen recipes for breakfast crunch wraps. Maybe we'll try that one next. So anyway, you want to get your tortillas. You're gonna need two sizes: the little bitty taco guys, the great big burrito guys. Okay, branding does not matter. Use what you can get, but they all have, these two have to be soft. And then you want tostadas, which is like it's like a flat round taco, but it's flat, it's not bent. So they're about so big. Again, any brand. So that's your structure elements. And then we have tomatoes, lettuce, sour cream, some shredded cheddar, although I may exchange that. I may put my Mexican blend. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll change that for my Mexican blend cheese. And then we have some pico de gallo, which is onions, tomatoes, jalapeno, cilantro, maybe some lime juice, and a little bit of olive oil. David doesn't like this, so he gets the tomatoes plain. I like the pico. And then some melty nacho cheese. Any brand will do. You can get the stuff that's hot. You can get it mild. Your choice. I've got some mild green chiles. And we like some black olives. So that's all the stuff that's going to go in. Not in any huge quantity because you want to be able to wrap it and fold it and keep it shut, right? Well, here's your kind of secret weapon for that. Get some spray canola oil. Any kind of oil will do. Canola's just got a really bland flavor, so I like to use that. After we assemble them and get them all folded in that weird, cool little crunch wrap fold thing, we're gonna spray it and then flop it down on that. Got to have a tray of some sort. It's not gonna cook on there. You just gotta put them on there to hold them for a few minutes because they have to sit, you know, and get all squinched down so they stay. So these are your basic elements. So when we come back, we're going to put them all together. I do need to tell you, she is not my sous chef. She's just watching. She likes to be involved. She doesn't actually touch the food. She doesn't get up here around the food. She's just supervising. And she thinks it's very important that she be involved. Say hi, Foxy. All right, let's get going. One thing I forgot to mention, spoons. Lots of spoons. You don't want to like cross-contaminate all your stuff with other things. So, first thing is a dollop of the melty cheese. You want to keep all of these ingredients focused to be about the size of your tostada, see? Keep it in the middle. Make a nice little ring there. Then we're gonna get our ground beef that has seasoning and onion. You don't want this to be too awfully thick, otherwise it won't wrap. But you also don't want to come away from supper hungry because you didn't have enough stuff in your crunch wrap. This is 1 pound of ground beef, and I'm guessing if I was sparing with the ground beef, I could probably get 4 out of this. I think I'll probably end up getting 3, yeah, I could maybe make 4. Maybe a little more ground beef. We're just gonna put a little more on there. All right. Now, then we put our tostada. Don't push hard because you'll crack it. All right, so now I think I want to put some lettuce. Again, not a whole lot, just some. There. Now this one's going to be mine in case I mess up the first one. I'll eat the one that's messed up. And here's the pico. I like a good bit of pico. So I'm gonna put that on there, just like that. Now I'm gonna do the green chiles. Oh yeah. Isn't that pretty? And then our black olives. They don't spoon well, but you kind of get the idea. Get them on there. Come on, little guy. Yeah, close enough. Okay, then the sour cream. You can also use Mexican crema, which is like a Mexican table cream. This is mine, so it's my finger. I can do it if I want to. just gonna spread that out a little bit. All right, now we take our soft tortilla. All right, and smoosh it down a little bit more. And here's where where the technique comes in. This tortilla has been warmed, so it folds a little bit. Start close to you, and then fold in and hold. Fold in and hold. See where I'm pushing with my thumb there? And hold. Now you want to change hands. See, tuck that under there. Fold in and hold. Fold in. Oh, see, I tore it. It's a good thing this one's mine. And then the last one. Fold in and hold. Just hold this guy all together for a second. Okay? And then now, we're going to just pick up the whole plate. See this? Now check this out. Just there. That's just going to be there for a minute. Okay, repeat. Changing ingredients, doing as you feel like you need to do. The next one I make will have David's ingredients, which will be pretty much everything except for the pico. We'll change out the pico for the fresh tomatoes. And I will see you back at the Blackstone. Okay, I'm warming the Blackstone back up so that we can grill these crunch wraps and get them all nice and crispy on the outside. I've got some oil. I'm only going to use these 2 burners, but I did some scraping on the Blackstone, so I'm going to spread some oil over here just for good measure and good seasoning. You just always got to take care of your Blackstone. I also have a tiny confession to make. The first crunch wrap, I'm sure you noticed, the first crunch wrap that I put together, I forgot to put the cheese on before I closed it up. So I had to take it apart, put the cheese on, and then carefully put it back together. So there you go. Nobody's perfect. We just do the best we can do. All right, now what I got here also is I have our tray, and I'm gonna just kind of anoint these guys a little bit with some oil. I do have oil on the Blackstone, but I want to make sure it gets all over the surface of these tortillas, just because I want them to be really nice and crisp on the outside when we cut into them to eat. So let me grab one of these. I'm going to set these here. Foxy's having some sort of episode. Okay, I'm going to slide the spatula underneath, and I'm just going to fold it side down. Okay. Okay, so now they're on. We're going to give those a few minutes, like 3 to 5 is, I guess, the rule of thumb. This is medium-high, medium, closer to medium heat. We don't want to scorch them, but we do want them to get nice and toasty. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes and flip them over. All right, these guys are ready to flip. And we pray and flip. Oh, looky there. Even the one I screwed up came out kind of okay. Woo! Ta-da! Crunch wraps. We'll give these guys a few more minutes. Then we'll be ready to dig in. See, it seemed like about 5 minutes was just about right. And about medium heat. So, back in a minute. Okay. I think we're ready. Oh yeah, we're ready. So I'm putting these ungracefully back onto the tray that I put them on because there's no raw ingredients. So there's not going to be any cross-contamination there. So there they are. Beautiful crunch wraps. I didn't break them except a little bit on mine, but we won't tell anybody. So, let's eat. Okay, the moment of truth. To go with this, I've got our trusty Cholula, a little dollop of sour cream, just for extra goodness. So here we go, let's test it out. I'll cut through the broken part so it's really not so noticeable. Okay. Oh, looky there. There's the inside. So, I'll take a little bite without first, just to see what happens. Oh, wow. You know, this is mine. You go get your own. That's really good. I dare say, better than you know where. Maybe because it's actually got some meat on it and the flavors that I want. You can't have any of this. She wants my supper. I can't blame her. This is really good. So all the flavors combine really nicely. You've got that little snap in the middle from the tostada. You've got the pico and the lettuce, giving it that nice natural salady crunch. Nothing is like, wow, spicy or anything like that. You can sure make it that way if you want. We don't do that. But these were easy to do as long as I was careful with the folding. That's the only real trick to it. So give it a go and do your best. Enjoy.